I need to ask you a question. Be curious, Drifters.
Mr. Brightside wins the vault and wins again. Zardozi wins the Oaks for J-Mac. The photo finish. Mr. Brightside or Romantic Warrior. The mare's going. Great guns. Fangirl. Look at her go. Fangirl. Imperatrice has got her. And raced on by Imperatrice by a length. Overpass. More Baker's Delight in Perth. Radina just won it, I'd say. Tom Kedden won the spring champion in a cakewalk. Without a fight, won the Caulfield Cup.
Well, it's that time of year.
Sure bloody is.
Bit of crisp morning air here in Brisbane.
I love it.
Yeah.
I actually love it.
Yeah.
Queensland Winter, particularly southeast Queensland Winter, is just sensational, mate. Like, you wake up, yeah, it's a bit chilly, but so it should be.
Makes you know you're alive.
Yeah, you're rugged up.
Yeah.
You know, you get out of bed, you're like, pwah. You have your cold shower, you're like, pwah. And you're awake. I tell you what, you're awake after that. And then middle of the day, you can have a jumpy on or a jacket. Maybe it's like 18 or 19 degrees.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, geez, I might take that off for a little while I'm out in the sun.
Oh, it's the perfect place to go to the racetrack.
It is the perfect place to go to the track.
Like on the weekend, it was a little bit dreary, sure.
Yeah, sure.
But sensational weather to walk around, you know, go from point A to point B to point C. Like
we would have got in a few thousand steps.
Mate, so I have a little Whoop band, right? Basically activity tracker.
Yep.
Has a strain metric. I reckon it was as if I ran 5K. My strain metric was like that.
Good.
On my toes.
Yeah.
Probably heart rate up, going like, oh, look at that thing in the yard.
100%. That gets me up and about. Seeing a good looking horse in the yard. Not in a creepy way, Drifters.
No. Excited.
Just from a student's perspective doing the form, you know? That's part of the puzzle.
Well, I tell you what, we'll be up and about tonight.
Certainly will be.
Recording on a Wednesday.
Yep.
You've got the paraphernalia on.
Yep.
What's your prediction?
Queensland to win, obviously. I think it'll be a close game and we'll score in the last 10 minutes to win it. I'm going to say 22 to 16. And I'm going to say Paddy Carrigan's going to be man of the match because he needs to dominate the middle for us to win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to chuck in like an anytime try scorer, what's Valentine Holmes done wrong at this level?
Oh, he's done nothing wrong, but he's the area of our defensive line which really, really scares me.
It's got nothing to do with attack though. Defense.
Yeah, that's true.
So I reckon Tommy Dearden's gonna get him over the line, or a little Reece Walsh sweep play, little pass off to Val, and he's just gonna basically walk over.
Yeah,
that's what I can see happening.
And boot it straight over the black dot.
Yeah. What about you?
Queensland to win.
Yeah, obviously.
I don't think that many points will be scored though.
I reckon it's going to be a low scoring affair.
I reckon it's like 18-14 or something. Yeah. I reckon. Well, I was going to say Pat, but I'll say DC.
Okay.
Captain's knock.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just like a fine wine, that guy.
He's 35, isn't he?
Yeah. He still has some years at the helm, I feel.
I feel like who's pushing their case to be the next 7 for Queensland? We've got 2 gun 5/8s coming through behind Munster and obviously Tommy Deard and Ezra Mann.
Wham bam.
So who's the 7 coming through? Look, probably young Sammy Walker, but he's not. I wouldn't say he's got one hand firmly on the jersey.
No, I feel like he needs to come back to his roots and come back to Queensland.
I feel like he does. He's he's been sucked into the vortex that is the eastern suburbs of Sydney. Look, we've all been there, Sam. We've all been there. Some more than most. And I tell you what, when you're in that part of the world, it's a good time.
It is good time.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it is. I can understand it.
Yeah, I get it. Just a young man.
The beaches are beautiful down there.
They are. Beaches. The beaches are beautiful. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's good. Good air for the Phillies when they're spelling.
Yeah,
eastern suburbs of Sydney. Yeah. Speaking of spelling, and or racing, geez, the Winter Carnival is just a springboard, isn't it? Some horses absolutely love getting that sun on their back.
Yeah.
So Warmonger, we spoke about him on Sunday in the review.
Justified.
Yes. And we were talking about Dan O'Sullivan. This is a few days later, right? Okay. We're talking about it'd be fascinating to see how he rates that race and how it couldn't possibly rate poorly. And lo and behold,
106 he put up.
106, which is a phenomenal rating. That's like if you're running 106 in a weight for age race in Australia, you're winning what 95% of them, I'd say.
Oh, easily. Like you probably see a rating that high.
I think that's what Animo did in the Cox Plate, for example.
Like 5 or less times,
Yeah.
I reckon. We see that. So, yeah, very exciting. And I think he said basically on recent years, he'd be very close to outside of VE's Melbourne Cup of winning the Melbourne Cup pretty much.
Yeah, if he matched that rating with a bit of weight relief in the Melbourne Cup.
So, which is
phenomenal.
Very, very exciting. We said as much, so maybe Dan O'Sullivan's just stealing our notes. Even more so because, as we said, when he goes into his ratings, he doesn't take into account like where he was in the run. And he was 3 wide doing all the work.
All the work. But key to him is going to be a truly run race, even out over that distance, you would imagine. But I'd say most Melbourne Cups, there's genuine enough pace, right? Like most of them.
Yeah.
Even when on paper you're looking at it, it's like, who's setting the pace? Like there tends to be a couple just chance their arm.
Well, Joseph O'Brien brings over a pacemaker.
True.
And sometimes they run it to a ridiculous tempo and Twilight Map Payment like steals it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think it generally is. Yeah.
Exciting stuff. Exciting.
It is.
Yeah. Again, Queensland Winter Carnival. You don't know what to expect. You don't know which race it's going to be. No. But there's always going to be a form race.
Well, speaking of fillies in this Queensland Sun, or in Sun rather, the Queensland Oaks is this weekend.
Uh-huh.
A few, I guess, future types which have garnered my interest.
Yep.
Do you think it's a good addition?
No.
Think better than last year's?
Yeah. Better than last year's, but not by much.
Last year's turned out to be a pretty decent form reference.
It did, yeah, it did. So yeah, retrospectively might change my tune, but I think there's a couple of horses in this race that can go on to do something.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say as it stands right now, there's no clash of the Titans, right? There's no Zardozi versus Autumn Angel versus Orchestral.
True. How's it feel to be in the ownership?
I was about to say there's no interest like self-interest. And look, I'd say for whatever reason, I'm not really thinking about it. I'm not nervous at all. Like, do you know what I have noticed? So I've been looking in the mirror this week, and for some reason my nose just keeps getting longer as the days go by. They're starting to call me Pinocchio at work, and I've got an enormous invoice from Sneesby Racing sitting in the inbox, which I think I might default on. So, yeah. Nothing more needs to be said.
Oh, my God.
So funny.
You need to keep up appearances because
I have to.
We're going to be seeing these people in 2 weeks' time.
I know. So,
congratulations, mate. How was it? Oh, yeah, it was good, I guess.
Yeah. Why aren't you with the rest of the owners? Just, you know what? I'm really trying to just take it back a peg, you know.
It's not about me.
Yeah. Oh, look, I don't want to yip and yahoo with all these big wigs when, you know, like I own like a single hair on its head, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, I'm just going to leave and never come back to this track ever again. Nah, your boy's going to have to come clean eventually, and it's going to be face to face. Like I've got to just say, hey, look, I think there was some banter that was misconstrued, and I think a particular person may have thrown me under the bus a little bit. Because that's how he gets his enjoyment, like a little kid, and at my expense. But it's not that I went out of my way to correct anyone, but you know,
it is what it is, mate.
It is what it is.
I think a lot of people would have done the exact same thing. So, should we talk about the Queensland Oaks?
Let's do it.
All right, 2,200 meters, Group 1 for the 3-year-old fillies. Set weights. Now the rail is out 2.5 meters. It was in the true position last week, so obviously they got. I think that should be fine if you're on the rail, I'd say, because they were getting out way wider than that.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
It should be a good track this weekend as
Yeah,
well.
I think it'll be a good track with hopefully a little bit of give. So it's a juicy good 4, I'd say. It is Eagle Farm though, so fucking hell. A fair few chances drawn out wide, and I think there's a couple who've drawn out wide who aren't necessarily, gun-ho leaders, but they like to probably get themselves into the race. So I think, if anything, there probably will be decent enough pace in this race by the looks.
Don't know. I think there's a lot of get back types, and I think the big difference is with a lot of these horses as well is a lot of the key lead up races have been on soft tracks, and how they're going to react when they're on good tracks, I don't know if that really means much or not. But I'd say the jocks would be looking to look after him on a soft track and not really give him 1-4.
Not let him fully let down.
Yeah, I'd say. So I'll be fascinated to see how that kind of works out. But I do see a lot of midfield to back market types in this contest. So someone like an Amazonian lass who knows no other way for Waterhouse spot, she could honestly just get her own way up front.
Yeah, she could. But that's what I mean. I think someone like your Sox Nation, Scarlet Oak, Ahu Riri, because of where they've drawn, I think they've got a chance their arm, you know what I mean? So I think that's probably going to generate a bit more pace, and Amazonia Lass probably going to bring them through. But, look, how many times have I got it wrong? Did we think there's going to be as much pace in the Derby as what there was?
Well, no one thought Navy King was going to do that. You think he's the on-top selection if I know he's going to do Pride of Jenny?
No, he's not. But no, you're right. It's with all the heavy and soft tracks, it makes it a little bit tricky, I think.
It does, and there's a lot of different form lines. A lot of these were either going up against each other in the South, Australasian Derby or the South Australian Derby, Oaks rather, Australasian Oaks, or I guess the lead up in Queensland as well, and then New South Wales. So it's it all comes together. I guess the filly who's kind of been completely separate to the majority of that is Scarlet Oak. J-Mac comes back after having a nice little business trip to Japan.
Yeah, bloody hell. You talk about peachy rides and you won't see much better.
Nah, tough horse.
Many better. Tough horse, very good.
Second highest money earner of all time, behind Golden 60.
Yeah, crazy. Romantic warrior. I don't think we saw him at his best at all.
No way.
Because if he ran to his peak, you'd think in the Cox Plate probably would have had at least 2 lengths on that field.
Mate, especially after what Mr. Brightside has done this year.
Yeah.
Pretty disappointing. Scarlet Oak we're talking of though. Barry 15, J-Mac on, $3.50 with the good people and Eds. Is that a price that interests you?
I would say so, yeah. I don't think she's – I think she's about a $4 pop. I don't think she's a $2.50, $3 favourite. Even though the way she put away that field last start would suggest that she's clearly, the best of this lot. From that gate, it makes it tricky, obviously. I think J-Mac's a master, though, of riding a horse from these sort of positions and getting them into a nice, lovely spot, but she's going to have a massive target on her back, Scarlet Oak. You could say that the way she finished off the roses over 2,000 metres, the horses were catching up to her, but I don't think J-Mac fully unleashed on her. I don't think he emptied the tank. For me, when she eventually graduates to being a weight for age horse, because I think she's going to be good enough to cut it at that level, I don't think she's going to be running over more than 2,000 metres.
No.
I don't think. I think she's going to be a miler who can probably stretch out to 2,000, like a fangirl maybe. I'm not saying she's fangirl, obviously. And if you look at her breeding, Kermadec won a Doncaster and a George Ryder, I'm pretty sure, and Tactless, her Dam and Commands were sort of mile types as well. So she's not bred to to get out of her further, but against her own age group as a 3-year-old, like 2,200 meters is fine. So I don't think that's the issue, but I don't think she's going to be pulling away from him is the way I'd describe her.
It's one of the right oaks to take her to, right?
Yep.
2,200 meters.
First prep, I know you don't like backing horses that are in their first prep in these type of races. Do you make an exception or are you looking around her?
I'm looking around her. I don't know, because I made an exception to Amakura last year. At the price, though, she was $15 into $9. $4 for first prep. You can leave me out of that. I think she's a fantastic winning champ. Hope she wins for the connections who put so much into racing. A lot of them have 2 chances with Molly Bloom, and Craig's in Firestorm as well, right?
No, Craig's not in Firestorm. I think he's only in Scarlet Oak, but like Aussie Kier's in Molly Bloom and what's it called? Mayor of Mount Buller.
Yeah.
Mount Buller. So did I say Aussie Kier or Brace Sikowski?
You said Aussie.
Sorry, I meant Brace Sikowski's in those two, and then Aussie's in Scarlet Oak, Mayor of Mount Buller, and Molly Bloom.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a fair few chances, but
well, I do think Brian Bray gets the chocolates here with Mayor of Mount Buller.
She's the clear threat for mine.
Worst part of the ground there at Doomben. Just the whole Queensland Carnival has got a bit of the Morfettville's about it, just getting right off the fence. So I'm bonusing anything that's making ground on the fence.
Yeah.
Both at Doomben and Eagle Farm. This filly is just looked like an absolute stayer. Like, I'd be more confident if he was out even further. But that was a sensational run against Amazon last 2 runs ago at the Sunshine Coast, beating two lengths there at $17. Jumps out at a bigger price last start at Doomben. Runs second by probably a long neck to Scarlet Oak, but was just plugging in that ground. Barrier 2, Tommy Berry. Hopefully Tommy can break his drought. And he's been not riding the best of late. But hopefully she can find a bit more of a positive position, get the A1 position, and she can basically be the one to beat from a long way out. I think Eagle Farm will help her as well. Nice big track to get into her work. The other one at a massive price, which I'm putting into my numbers, is number 17, Concello. Now, against the Vibrant Sun in the Australasian Oaks down in South Australia, she was early favourite at $5. Went out to 8s late. J-Mac was on trying to get his first Group 1 in South Australia. Beaten 6 lengths, not doing her best work. But she then went to Randwick against the boys and nearly knocked them off at about $15. I think she's well over the odds of $34. Barrier 7, Vlad on.
In Vlad we trust.
So I think she might be peaking at the right time.
Yeah, definitely. Going back to Mayor of Mount Buller and Scarlet Oak, when you're looking at this field, when there's so many fillies and you're trying to marry up form lines, and when they're all the sort of same, I sort of just look at who's got the winning strike rates.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you're looking at these, and Molly Bloom's got a good strike rate. She's a Group 1 winner over in New Zealand.
You know what I do that for? Is a highway or the midways in Sydney, because more often than not they get the job done. Strike rates for this, and then also, even though it is only 2,200 meters, who's going to run it out?
Yeah,
especially for 3-year-olds.
Yeah, 100%, and that rules out so many of them. Yeah. There's so many that have got maybe a bit of a flashing light, but Kind Words ran 11 times for 1 win, a couple of placings. Amazonian last year, she won really well on the sunny coast, but she's got 3 wins from 11 starts, and 2 placings. And I'm like, well, who are the ones who are doing a bit of this, who've got a bit untapped, or have shown me enough? And that's, the likes of Scarlet Oak and Mayor of Mount Buller. Ahu Riri as well is one who I know you're on for the SA Oaks or Derby.
Yeah, because I was on at Flemington and she absolutely trotted in.
Yeah, she's got shit house John on.
Honestly, dog shit Johnny.
Dog shit Johnny.
Like, who's Craig on here? Because he's jumped off
Craig's jumped off
to our gold hope, rather.
So
was finishing well against Scarlet Oak as well. So $23, not the worst shot.
Yep. And the other one who's going to be in my numbers is Good Banter.
Yep.
Just completely forget about last start. Missed the jump from memory and just couldn't get a really clear run. So I think 7th was good enough out of the 16 there. And that was off a 7-week let up. Obviously beat Autumn Angel, albeit with significant weight relief. But Jamie sticks on, which tells me that she's got faith in the horse. And she's 19-1, Good Banter. So they're the 4 for me. I think Scarlet Oak and Mare of Mount Buller are clear top 2.
Yep.
Obviously I'm going to go Scarlet Oak, but at the price, Mare of Mount Buller is a better bet.
Yeah. Yeah, she's the one I'm going to be having a bet on. I'd never expect at the start of the prep to see Molly Nickers 40 or 50-1 in a Group 1. That is wild stuff. Just checking the gear changes. No nose roll still on. So, yeah. All right, let's get to the rest of this card, eh? Race 3 is the Phoenix for the 2-year-olds. I thought this was tough. 1,500 metres listed. I thought the favourite would be hard to beat here for Annabelle Nation, Amelius.
She'll be very hard to beat based on her last start and those Triple Crown Silks. Like, she just clearly was so much better than them, sat wide and came home like a freight train. So I thought she'd send it to the paddock, but clearly she's thrived and she'll go towards a JJ you would expect. And I think my favourite up-and-coming sire, Hellbent, is going to stamp his authority in the next couple of years. So
best of luck to you. All right, the Lightning Handicap is race 4, 1,000 metres listed. This was a tricky little race, but I think Golden Boom can go back-to-back here.
I think so. Is Golden Boom in and around the Stradbroke, or is that not on the agenda for him? Too long.
I think it's too long for him.
Too long for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he can go back-to-back as well. Shooting for gold, fresh up here from the wide gate. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to do it again, I think. They did scratch him from the wet tracks as well. But I think Golden Boom looks the clear on-top selection, in my opinion.
Yep.
Race 5 is the Spear Chief Handicap, 1,500 metres listed. Yellow Brick, $2.40 favourite. Yeah, Team Yellow Brick this weekend?
I'm not sure if I am. Like, surely, though. You know what I mean, though? Like, I don't know if I am, but then if you look at him and you're thinking, well, he's due, isn't he?
He is very much due.
He's due.
Almost looks a target for him.
Yeah.
Like, last time he was third up, he ran a nose to Redina on Stradbroke Day last year, and then he didn't quite get through the prep in the spring.
Significant jockey booking.
Oh, that's the other thing, is like, you're taking 240, but you get the best jock in the land, J-Mac, on. That's the other thing. And his strike rate, even though it's like he hasn't won in over a year, his strike rate is still bloody good. 40% winning strike rate.
So much harder, but number 8 Water Goes was a good winner last start. Significant weight drop as well. But this is a big step up for him.
Big step up. All right, race 6 is the Queensland Day Stakes, 1,200 metres. Listed for the 3-year-old set weights. Hedge, 250. Want to take him on?
I want to take him on. I want to take him on with 2 fillies. I'm going to go back to the well with number 5, Skirt the Law. I reckon she's so due.
Has to be
last chance stuff.
Last chance
brigade. The other one is Tiger Shark.
Oh, underrated by the market every single start.
So, like, she's had 2 really good wins this prep. Like, she'll put in a stinker and then she'll win. Maybe she, can put it together twice in a row over 1,200 metres. And again, 14. So I can back both of them.
Yeah.
At that price.
Yeah, for sure. I'd found how many boys are in this race? 4 boys. I found one of the boys that isn't hedged. Moravia. Good return after a disappointing early autumn. Nearly got the chocolates against the likes of Corniche at the Sunny Coast. I do think that heavy track doesn't necessarily suit him, but barrier 13, Zara on Big Ball's mark, Santa Sack mark, could potentially get the chocks here, but probably not a betting race for me in all things considered. Tell you what, the last 3 races on this card are cracking contests.
Cracking races.
Now, I don't even think this is actually a black type race, but the Magic Millions National Classic, 1,600 metres, fillies and mares, open weight for age contest. Was not expecting to see La Creek in the Brisbane Carnival.
No. If she starts black type, I'll have her. Like if she starts black odds, sorry, I'll have her. Yeah, $2 plus. Yeah, that's a bet.
Yeah.
Against these, like no offense to any of them. Like I would love to own pretty much any horse in this field, but La Creek, yeah, she's not what she was a year or 2 ago. I can't remember when she came over. Was it as a 3-year-old filly?
I reckon that was 22 she came over.
Yeah. But, form around like Aegon. I know he's not a superstar, but who's the other one she has form around?
Desert Lightning.
Yeah. So, like, that's better than these with all due respect.
Yeah.
Cool sign, Mavlog.
Yeah. Yeah, 2-time Group 1 winner. Like, placed 6 times in Group 1s as well. So
this is weight for age.
Yeah.
J-Mac.
Yeah. Barry 7. Like, the scripts there. There is a mare in form here that I think is the big danger though. And that is number 7, Fall for Cindy. Has she been beating much? No, but she dead heated first up. And then the way she put that field away at Scone suggests to me that she is really feeling herself. She is really loving life as a 4-year-old mare. Barrier 1 isn't the best, but Jamie's on. Jamie could just slip out there and get the A1 position and just, if she runs out the mile, that's the other thing. Not necessarily a great mile profile, but if she runs it out, I think she'll be going bloody close. For Cindy. And then the final race on the card, the Moreton Cup, 1,200 metres Group 2 for the 3-year-olds Open Company. Set weights and penalties. Cracking little contest here.
Do you know what CI stands for?
What's that?
CI. Chips in.
Hello.
Opal Ridge, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah, chips in.
Wow.
Chips in. Like, the way she put away that field on a soft deck, on a home deck, it's gone though. But
it's gone.
On a dry deck here, Eagle Farm, like she's being screwed down towards a Tats Tiara, which is perfect. Like I can, and a bit of weight relief here, draws a good gate, Tommy Berry on, give her a bit of an arrogant ride, and the way she sort of sits, I can just see her coming down the middle of the track and just pouncing on him. $5, yeah, chips in.
Okay.
Chips in, big bet coming responsibly.
Okay.
Which is like $10. Max bet.
All right. Interesting. Half her wins have been at Scone.
Have they really?
3 out of the 7, I'm calling that half.
Gee, she loves jam and cream.
Yeah, she does. I was just thinking that. It's like, all right, does she just love the home track? I really wanted to find her, right? I need 4 weeks plus after her first up run. I've decided.
What are we getting here? We're getting 3 weeks.
3 weeks. So her first up profile is elite, mate. Like, honestly, this might be a bit hyperbolic, but you could almost take her to the Everest first up. She explodes that hard, you know what I mean?
What was that race I found at first up, like 17s? Maybe she wasn't that.
No, I looked at it before. I reckon she was that price, but she came into 10s.
Yeah.
That was at Rose Hill, and she won by 2 lengths, beating the likes of Cote and Spacewalk. She's better than them.
She's better than them.
Yeah, so, first up into a Kosciuszko, rather. Not an Everest, but like that's her type of level.
Yeah, she ain't a Group 1 mare, but she could win a tiara. Like, if it was her day, she could win a tiara.
She started, $3 last year? Got knocked off by Pelissa I'm playing around her. Boo. Couple of value. Number 10, What You Need. Way down in grade here. Way down. So this is not really, it's a Group 2 contest, but he he was good in the Goodwood. Loomed up to go like, hang on, is this one of the great training performances of all time? It wasn't, but I think what we're seeing with this horse is if he returns back to his early 3-year-old form, like he's a serious prospect. Like
He is, but I don't think he will. Unfortunately,
yeah.
But is he good enough to win this? Yeah,
I'm getting $14 to find
yeah.
out.
But I don't think he's going to get back to what he was, which is a shame.
Yeah,
But what I will say is that, geez, the stable's been on fire the last few weeks
yeah.
because they had a bit of a flat autumn, didn't they?
And then all it takes is winning a Queensland Derby by 10.4 lengths, and you're on fire.
You're officially back. So like he wouldn't shock what you need at that price, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, the other one who I think is a mare feeling herself again, down in the weights, who knocked off a decent field, the likes of Osmos and a ton of others, is Lekvart for Joe Pride. And Joe needs a win. Joe needs a win big time.
Yeah, look, we have a go at Joe a fair bit on this podcast, but like I don't feel sorry for him. I wouldn't stoop that low, and I'm not a victim. And I know he's not a victim, but like you're sort of thinking, well, you know, bro's due for some luck, surely.
Yeah, he is. And Lekvart, I don't know if it's this weekend, but $34, I think she'll be one that's like zooming home. She's a smart mare and never won shorter than 1,350 meters. So that's the concern. 1,200 meters against some of these like second, third, fourth, fifth up sprinters. But I think, you know, if she's heading towards like a tiara or something, like might be putting her hoof close to the winner's circle. Like she's one to put into the multiples.
Put her in your exotics.
Quadrellas.
Do you think Lekvart is more likely to win than the stablemate, Mahazoo?
Yeah, because it's on top of the ground.
It is.
Like there's two myths on top of the ground here. One is number 2, Mazu, with all due respect.
With the utmost respect.
With the greatest respect.
Yeah.
Like he's one of our boys. Like if I had enough room on this property, I'd have him out the front.
If we had only 5 horses in the theoretical on the drift stable that didn't include horses we had any ownership in,
he'd be the number 1 ticket holder, I'd say.
Oh, it'd be Mazu. We'd find a home for Lions Raw.
Yeah.
We'd find a home for Without a Fight.
Yep.
We'd find a home for Animo.
Yep.
And who's the last one?
Crystal Pegasus.
Yeah. We RMP'd with Crystal Pegasus for weeks. Weeks. That's probably the stable.
Yeah. It's getting close.
It's getting really close.
Getting very close. But yeah, Marzu's he's one of our boys, but he's a myth on top of the ground. The other one's Villana. Big myth. Big myth on top of the ground. I think the stable would be wondering, shit, you can't geld him twice. We need to see something from this horse, or we could see him be running for Bjorn Baker next prep.
Yeah, or for Jack Bruce.
Jack Bruce.
Up here in some green silks. Funnily enough, Jack Bruce has an ex-Godolphin sprinter Atmosphere in work at the moment. And he's going to debut in the next few weeks. So, look, you know, stranger things have happened.
Yeah. But that's where Villana's at. And
he showed some promise.
Sure. But he's had conditions to suit. Not many excuses. Like, yeah.
I was looking at the Darley Stallion page, as I do.
Okay.
The other day, just checking out Animo, to be honest, just to see how he's doing.
How is he going?
He looks fantastic. He's got put on some condition. Yeah. he's put on some condition. He's living large.
Glistening.
He looks phenomenal. Oh, yeah. The dapple's phenomenal.
Okay.
He looks good. But you know who looks better? Paul Laley.
Oh, really?
Mate, honestly, if you just go onto the Darley Stallion page and look at Paul Laley, he's a very good looking horse.
Yeah, right.
He's got like the So You Think front mullet, like the fringes is like coming down past his eyes. Like no one's better looking than So You Think. He's the best looking horse of all time. But Paul Haley's he's looking phenomenal. So do yourselves a favour, drifters. Go onto the Darley Stallions page and there'll be plenty of pictures of him.
Did not expect that to come up in conversation.
No.
But
Oh, look, I'm going to keep a
Oh,
very.
he does, doesn't he?
He looks phenomenal, doesn't
Yeah.
he? I'm going to keep a very close eye on his progeny because he could just jump out of the ground. You know what I mean? Oh, look at his hair.
Bro has better hairlines than most of the Channel 7, 7 racing crew.
Bro could donate. Bro could donate half of his hair to Richo, and Richo would be walking around with a ponytail. Like, he looks phenomenal.
He does.
You love to see it.
Mate, look at that salad. Hell of a salad.
Great salad.
Uh,
And, you're paying 13 grand for a service fee from Paul Haley or 120,000 grand for Animo.
fuck. Hectic. What did Coolmore have home affairs for?
He debuted at 110. He's down to like 80 something.
110? Yuck.
I mean, beat Nature Strip.
Sure.
Beat Nature Strip, mate. He's why I'm Invincible, and I'm Invincible's like 250.
He beat Nature Strip. Oh, that is just... Sure. If you can sell it at market, so be it. But you also go what did he do the prep before that when the pressure was really on in an Everest?
Oh, he could capitulate.
Yeah.
Home Affairs. He's a cult, though. He was very culty. Very culty.
Yeah. And then he has it all his own way in the Coolmore and...
Brained him. But yeah, I agree. For mine, I'm seeing that price tag for Paul Haley, and I'm thinking that's... He's won a Group 1 weight for age, and he showed a bit of constitution.
Yeah. And
running on as a 4-year-old.
one of the best wins I've ever seen.
It's ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Very
all right.
funny.
Are you going to the track this weekend?
Yeah, you?
Maybe.
Well, I've like I said, there's no interest like self-interest.
Yeah,
I'll be
true.
there. I'm not paying for tickets, obviously.
Yeah, true.
Or piss.
Yeah. Yeah. I might go for the quaddie legs. Yeah. Just because this is actually going to be the third last podcast of this season.
Hectic.
Because, basically we'll have the review on Sunday and then we'll have the preview of the Stradbroke. But Drifters, I'll be in the air by midnight.
Ain't no wrap up.
Nah, so after Stradbroke Day, basically I'll be there for the last race and then be heading home and then going to the airport, basically.
Yeah.
So third last episode of the year, for the season rather. So yeah, may as well make
Hey, while the sun shines.
yeah, that one. Anyway,
Yep.
we'll see you on Sunday.
Good luck, Drifters. Good luck.